Hello everyone, it's Andrea and welcome to today's video. Today I thought I was overdue for another anti-haul. The last couple of times I've done it, I had a really positive response. I personally love watching anti-haul videos, and I am a selfish content creator here on YouTube in the sense that I generally produce the type of content that I myself like to watch others do. So I'm going to talk about beauty products that I would really love to buy, but I'm talking myself out of it because I don't really need them right now. And chances are you probably don't either. We are just bombarded with so many beautiful new products, so many new releases, and it's so easy to just kind of get caught up. It's really a push and pull for me. Sometimes I'm really sucked in and I am all over it, and I will buy a new beauty product that I probably don't need, but I have been trying to talk myself out of stuff more often and just do less buying for the sake of buying and just kind of assess the situation. Do I really need this item? Or do I just really want it because I see 20 people talk about it every single day on Instagram for 3 days, and then the fad kind of passes and then there's a new thing to be distracted with. So I have about 10 items here that are beautiful, and that if I needed a new makeup item in that particular category, I would be all over it, but alas, I'm good for now. So these are the things that caught my eye, but I'm talking myself out of. Item number one is actually something that you helped talk me out of it in the comment section of a previous video. I had mentioned that I was really tempted by the new Fenty Ease Drops, like that beautiful skin tint type of product. I was kind of wondering how it compared against the Chanel skin tint, the Chanel water tint that I absolutely love. A lot of you said that it's similar to Dior Face and Body Foundation. I have 2 bottles of the Dior Face and Body Foundation. I love this foundation. It's one of my favorites. So chances are I would probably really like the Fenty, but these 2 bottles are nowhere near empty. This is actually a repurchase. I used shade 2WO more in the summertime, and then I got shade 1N to mix if I ever wanted to use it in the wintertime. But love this foundation, and I am very much a foundation collector. I love foundation, and I tend to buy foundation more often than I use it up. So I'm trying to kind of pump the brakes on that and just use up some of the foundations that I have accumulating in my cupboard. And then once I'm in the market for new stuff, maybe then I'll dig in and buy the Fenty. But for now, I'm not going to buy it. Item number 2 is the Victoria Beckham bronzer. It looks beautiful, absolutely beautiful, but I don't need another bronzer right now. I have 2 bronzers in my project pan. I have the Lila B bronzer that I've been trying to use up for like a year, and then I have my Clarins liquid bronzer, and maybe once I use both of these up, then I'll have room in my life for another bronzer, but for now, I'm good. I was actually really lucky to have received this product last year in PR. This is a bronzer by Jouer that is actually a very similar concept to the Victoria Beckham bronzer. So I've kind of been pulling this back out just to kind of curb my appetite for the Victoria Beckham. This is also at a lower price point than Victoria Beckham, and it's a beautiful bronzer. This is in the shade Light. I'm wearing it today. Love the fact that there's this lighter side that is a bit more warm, and then this side is so similar to the natural tan that I get in the summertime. It's got like a bit more of like a sculpting quality, and that's really what I look for in the bronzer. I usually like to have more than one bronzer going on at the same time because I like one bronzer to be a little bit lighter but warmer, and that's the type of shade I typically gravitate towards more in the colder months when I just feel really gray and miserable. I like to have that injection of warmth into my skin, and then in the hotter months I like more of a sculpting bronzer, and this kind of seems to do both things. I think if I were to buy the Victoria Beckham one, I would buy either shade number 2 or shade number 3, whatever was warmer between those options, because the two bronzers that I'm trying to use up right now, the Lila B and the Clarins, are kind of warming bronzers for me. So I guess I would be in the market for a new warmer bronzing duo once I use these up. I also still have my Becca Capri Coast bronzer, which is a warming bronzer. And then I have the Marc Jacobs Coconut Bronzer in Tantastic, which is again a more sculpting bronzer. So that's kind of my bronzing purchasing pattern. A slightly lighter, warmer tone, and then more of a sculpting shade. So this video is turning into take a peek at my makeup collection / anti-haul video. But case in point, I don't need another bronzer. And if maybe you have some of the same items rolling around in your makeup drawer, maybe it's time to just get reacquainted with something you haven't used in a while. But if you are in the market for a new bronzer, check out either the Jouer bronzing duo or the new Victoria Beckham duos, because it's such a great concept. So easy to use. Even, I mean, hopefully, knock on wood, the world will slowly start to reopen and we can travel again. Something like this would just be so great. Even just, you have 2 crease color options there, and then you just pack a little glittery eyeshadow topper if you're traveling, and then you're good to go. So love this. Obviously the Victoria Beckham one is refillable, which makes it a better option, long term, if it ends up being a bronzing formula that you absolutely love. But if you don't really want to shell out the money for the Victoria Beckham, this is an amazing, amazing bronzer formula. Next on my list, I have 2 blushes. I have the Pat McGrath blushes. I think they're out. I think right now there's just a pre-sale going on the Pat McGrath website. I'm not sure if they're out at Sephora yet. I haven't seen them in person or anything, but I really don't need another blush. I think you're sick of seeing me talk about this, but I have this blush from Tarte that's been haunting me for 7 years. Not really 7 years, but it feels like it's been haunting me for a long time. It just takes me so long to use up blush, and I have so many blushes that I really, really love. I'm good on blushes for now. So won't be getting the Pat McGrath blushes, even though they look absolutely phenomenal. And Pat McGrath is one of my favorite beauty brands. And along the same vein, the Lisa Eldridge blushes, I think they're coming out next week. I know she had to push back her release date. Again, they look beautiful. They're like a squeezy tube serum type of blush, kind of like the Glossier Cloud Paint. That's kind of the impression that I got from it. She apparently has some new technology in the blush that kind of creates a mesh on your face, and it ends up giving a smoothing effect. So it would absolutely be a blush formula that I would be interested in checking out at some point in the future. But for now, I'm good on cream blushes. Again, I have a cream blush that I have to use up in my project pan this year. I also went a little bit crazy with the Tower 28 blushes, and I have 3 of them now, and I absolutely love them. I also have the Armani Neo Nude blush, which is like a beautiful liquid blush that I need to use up. And with cream products, cream cheek products, I try not to have too many open at the same time because they do expire faster than powder products. But again, if you're in the market for a new liquid cream blush, they might be worth checking out. They look really beautiful. It's kind of like a grown-up elevated Glossier Cloud Paint. But I do have to say, I don't love the squeezy blush packaging. I had a couple of the Glossier Cloud Paints and I ended up just passing them on to other people because I was just never reaching for them because of the way that they were packaged. Just for some reason, that type of packaging just isn't my favorite. Next up, we have 2 eyeshadow palettes. There is a new Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette. I feel like I could do a Natasha Denona eyeshadow palette every time I do an anti-haul because I have yet to buy any eyeshadow product from Natasha Denona, but I'm constantly tempted to because they look amazing. I hear nothing but great things. All my friends that have purchased Natasha Denona eyeshadows are very, very happy with their purchases, and this new palette looks really fun and colorful, and I just I just know myself, and I know that I would probably use it maybe once or twice, and once the novelty wore off, I would just go back to like my basic Tom Ford Cocoa Mirage, like my basic brownie bronzy shadows. And if I do ever want to dip into more fun, slightly out there eyeshadow options, I'm already good with what I have. Yet another Natasha Denona palette I'm saying no to. The next eyeshadow palette that Sandra from like 3 years ago would absolutely have this in her cart already, just because it's such a unique, enticing product. It's the Hindash eyeshadow palette, and it's such a cool way of presenting color and eyeshadow, and just really encouraging people to play and to mix, which is something that I do with my eyeshadows in an eyeshadow palette regardless. I've actually recently been dipping into my good old faithful Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette again, and I'm always just kind of mixing stuff around, especially, you know, with the more matte crease colors. I love mixing colors around and kind of seeing what I'm going to get. So yeah, it would seem like the perfect type of palette for me, but I don't need it. I just don't need it. I'm not a makeup artist. I don't do avant-garde makeup looks on myself. I'm very happy just doing my easy everyday. Like, this is adventurous eyeshadow for me. But yeah, I don't need it. It's beautiful, but I don't need it. Next up, we have some lip products. We have the Gucci Nude Lip Liner. I'm pretty sure the color is called Nude. It's definitely on my radar, but for the same reason why in my last anti-haul video I said I wouldn't buy the Victoria Beckham lip liner, for the same reason I'm just gonna say no to the Gucci Nude Lip Liner, because I just don't need another nude lip liner in my life right now. I'm trying to use up some old ones that I have, and I think once I use up some of my existing lip liners, I will dive in and get the Gucci Nude. It looks like such a good nude, especially if you're into things like Lancome Natural Mauve, Makeup Forever 3C. Those are kind of like my all-time favorite. Oh, and the Armani Smooth Silk Lip Pencil in shade number 12. That's another favorite of mine. That's actually what I'm wearing today. As you can see, it's very well loved. I'm good. I'm good on lip liners right now, but if I needed a new nude lip liner, I would be buying Gucci Nude Lip Liner. Along the same lines, the new Slim Shine Finish lipsticks from Gucci. Again, I'm really digging the Gucci makeup rebrand. I have one old Gucci eyeshadow from back in the day when Gucci first did makeup, and Pat McGrath was the creative director for the Gucci makeup line. This was before Pat McGrath had her own makeup brand. I feel like I'm always going to hang on to it. It's almost like owning a part of makeup history by now, but this is like before the Gucci Marmont GG rebranding logo as well. This is the color, what is this called? Oxidus. It was such a good color. But anyway, Gucci Beauty has had a revamp in the last 2-3 years, and I think right now they only have the foundation. They have bronzer, face powder, and lipstick and lip liner. I don't think they've launched eyeshadows yet, but they have a mascara, I believe. Not sure why I went on that tangent. I have yet to buy new Gucci Beauty items. I am tempted. Obviously, the lip liner's on my radar, and these new slim lipsticks look so beautiful. I was watching, I think it was Andreea Ali on Instagram. She is one of my favorite makeup artists to follow on Instagram. I would love to just go to Paris and hang out with her. She just seems so fun and so open and so bubbly. I love her sense of humor, and I guess I relate to her a lot because she is also Romanian, you know, living in another country, and it's I love watching her. I love her makeup looks and her taste in makeup. Anyway, she got the lipsticks in PR, and she was swatching them on Instagram, and they looked so beautiful. I am such a sucker for like a slim packaging, shiny lipstick formula, but I don't need it. I don't need it. Especially now, again, now that we're finally, you know, easing out of lockdown. I'm fully vaccinated. According to the CDC, I can walk around the streets without a mask on, which means I can wear lip gloss again in public. I have plenty of lip glosses and lipsticks and shiny, balmy lip products that I have barely been using for the last year. So I'm excited to just use what I have for now, and then maybe if I'm in the market for a new lipstick further down the line, I will pick up one of the new Gucci, the slim ones. I don't know why the standard lipsticks, none of them really spoke to me, but when I saw the slim shiny ones, I was like, whoa. Next up is the Charlotte Tilbury lip stain. They look gorgeous. Alana Davison was featuring a couple of them in some of her recent makeup looks, and I think she uses them on the cheeks and on the lips. They look stunning. Charlotte Tilbury does like that pouty, sexy, my lips but better color so well. It's such a good makeup line for those types of shades, like just bitten, pouty lip colors. But again, I have a Charlotte Tilbury lipstick in my project pan, and I should just be using this instead and pretending it's a lip tint or something. And finally, the last item on my list today is a fragrance, and it's actually two fragrances. They're both by Byredo, and they're newer launches from the brand. One is called Open Sky, and one is called Mixed Emotions. And I think if this was normal times and I would be traveling somewhere, it would be so much easier for me to make an impulsive fragrance purchase on a trip. I love to buy new fragrances when I'm traveling because it will always kind of remind me of that particular vacation, but haven't been going anywhere with Byredo counters, and I don't have any Byredo fragrance counters near me, so even if I felt particularly impulsive on one day, it's not like I can just hop on over to the mall and smell it and see if there's anything, if any of those fragrances I really like. Given the notes and the scent profile, they sound like my kind of vibe. I do love fragrances, and it's something that I've been collecting over the years, but that's it for me. That's my little anti-haul. Please feel free to share with me what you've been tempted to buy and what you're not going to buy right now. I'm all ears. As always, I love chatting with you in the comment section below. Thank you for hanging out with me today. Thank you for watching this video, and I will be seeing you in the next one. Bye.